Hi, we're Mike and Sue. We've been going to First Family for about 6 years now. Really, it started a very long time ago. When I was in college, I was involved in a navigator ministry, and I was up in the Twin Cities. And we were doing an evangelism program that summer, and Bill and I met this Indian man by the name of Savankar. We ended up sharing the gospel on a napkin with him, but after that night, I had other opportunities to engage Savankar, who was a Hindu, and Savankar and I got together regularly, and we talked about, I talked about my faith in Jesus, he talked about his Hindu faith, and God really used that to create within me a desire to see the gospel get to the Indian people. When I saw the Hinduism, it's good to engage people and to see the need for the gospel. Mm-hmm. And God can really grip your heart.
For myself, I ended up going on a number of mission trips as a teenager from England and Grenada to India and Nepal, Pakistan, and that was a real eye-opener to see how God needed to be heard in many different countries. So from my life as a teenager and a college student going overseas, that really changed my heart to the point where I thought, I want to focus on letting God be heard overseas. Then as we've moved along in life, Mike, we've been wanting to move more into missions. Different things came up in our lives and we had to deal with different things, but as we came to this point, we thought, okay, time for Mike to stop working. And so we took a vision trip to see if we could live overseas. And we thought, yeah, we could, God would want us to do this. Then we thought, let's wait until January, because that was in November and December we were planning that. So we waited until January. And in January, Mike's work came to him and said, if you'll stop working, we'll give you early retirement and we'll pay you to stop working.
It was just kind of interesting. A year and a half ago, we heard about the early retirement for some of the other employees at the place where I work. And yet the retirement age was notably higher, so it clearly was not an option for me. And yet for this year, they dropped the minimum age, and it did allow me, even though I wasn't at that age at that point, but now I am, to be able to take benefit of that early retirement.
It's exciting to watch God orchestrating things. As I was looking at Jewish history, the Jews have a very small lamp and it hangs on cords, and it used to hang down and it would light one more step. That's the way I feel like that we've taken this trek in our journey, is one step at a time. God, what do you want us to do next? And we'd do that next step. It was never like we saw the whole path. Okay, here's your life laid out before you. Because we really thought we'd head to missions before children, and that didn't happen. That was our plan. But God showed us one more step. And as we keep taking the step He lights for us, then we can move on to the next place that He has. One thing that we've done is we've relied upon God every step of the way. It's been amazing how I'm a homeschool mom, so I have homeschooled 3 children. I put my nursing license on hold so that I could focus on their education. It's interesting to see how God is using that to His purpose. Many families on the field need help with their children because they may need one child to be homeschooled for the year to get them over a certain hurdle. And it's interesting how I've heard people say, oh, I would have loved to have somebody homeschool one of my children when we were on the field. And I think, who knew God was preparing us for the mission field by me homeschooling? So whatever is going on in our lives, God can use. Mike has been working at an Iowa-based company. So it's really hard to transfer that to India. But at the same time, God's been working on Mike's life to be organized, to be a planner, to think ahead. Organization is something that many young missionaries just don't really have, so they might pay extra for a visa because they forgot to order it ahead of time, or they might pay extra for travel insurance. Whereas Mike is good at organizing and can help the families who are already there do things in a timely manner and can help save the whole group a lot of money.
As time has progressed for Sue and I, we went through a stage where we were Christians here in the States and lived life fairly normal. God began to get a hold of our hearts and had a greater concern for what's going on in other parts of the world, to the point where we wanted to be more directly involved. It is our desire to get overseas and to help see the gospel go forward, and it's our desire to see others from our church and others to be able to do the same. And so, we really encourage people to really listen to the Lord to that end, that ultimately He be honored through all of our lives.